CBSE student with learning disability from Mumbai given no concession in the ongoing board exams. Parents blame board for the apathy. And Tamil Nadu Finance Minister D. Jayakumar presents his maiden budget. Public transport and infrastructure get big push. However, key issues like the aftermath of the toxic oil spill and women and children's safety given the short shrift.
I will be happy if the girls are here. I will be happy, but I know they have already eliminated.
And another shocker, and this time in Pune, 2 models go missing. Advocate alleges murder and exposes flesh trade racket. You're watching the Urban Debate 360. I'm Amita Balachandra. Straight up, with the burden of a ballooning fiscal deficit, Tamil Nadu's finance minister presented his maiden budget. The positives: money set aside to build roads, hospitals and schools, funds allocated to build more courts and upgrade the police department and police housing. Money has also been set aside to revive water bodies and link rivers, key in a state with minimal water resources. However, minimal allocation made to clean up the coast or compensate fishermen who lost their livelihood to the recent oil spill.
Tamil Nadu Finance Minister D. Jayakumar presented his maiden budget this Thursday despite an alarming fiscal deficit. The biggest allocation was given for roads, urban transportation and infrastructure. However, talking about the misses, fishermen's livelihood has been affected, but a sum of rupees 5,000 only has been provided for them. Also, the experts felt that women's safety and education should have been given the much needed focus. Most of the projects that they have spoken about have already been sanctioned and there is nothing concrete that has been done. In Chennai, Shweta for Magic Bricks Now.
If you look at the overall budget, primarily there are a lot of learnings from the previous year's budget. We have an expenditure of almost more than 60,000 crores more than the income that we have had. So a 60,000 crore deficit is really huge. They have just claimed that the deficit will come below 3% of the GSDP, but there has been absolutely no plan that has been presented how it will come below 3%. The absolute lack of transparency itself is a big problem in this oil spill, and 20 crores seems to be a very small amount with respect to the nature of damage that we are seeing there. Definitely, safety of women was a key focus of the Tamil Nadu government some years back, but over the last few years at least, there has been absolutely nothing that's being done. The whole issue of women's safety has to be looked to very holistically, and there needs to be a plan. There is absolutely no plan with respect to the CCTV cameras. They said they will install in all the police stations. That has not happened yet. So there are lots of issues with respect to the women's safety.
We are looking forward to the completion of Chennai metro projects, because many a time when we are traveling to places like Anna Nagar or places like slightly distant, but at times we are caught in traffic. And when we go to cities with metro operating systematically, we feel that we are reaching places quite easily. So this is one thing we are looking forward to.
The budget allocation to the poor people and this fishermen, and also Varda Puyal, the Varda cyclone, and this has been not classified in detailed manner, and it has to be studied later only, but not today. It is too early to declare everything.
In the meantime, a shocking case of apathy on part of the CBSE board. A class 10 student with multiple learning disabilities has been denied extra time, and a writer for the class 10 board exams that are currently underway. The reason: the student's application reached the board late. Despite the mother running around, the student was denied the necessary concessions. Richa Sharma gets us the special story.
This is the worried mother of a student with learning disability from Mumbai. Her son, who is appearing for the crucial 10th CBSE board exam, has been diagnosed with learning disabilities, both dyslexia and dysgraphia. Her son has been denied special provision prescribed by the education board. His fault: not able to provide documents before the date of prescription. The delay was in fact due to the limited testing centers available in the country.
I was assured by the institute as well that my son's, however far it may get late, however far it may delay, he would definitely, they assured me that he will be able to get his LD into consideration by the boards. So, but somewhere in the end, they did not consider, and they refused to consider my son's boards, and he didn't get any facilities as per the LD. So I definitely want them to consider it and do something about it, consider, because still my other papers are still left. He deserves it.
The crucial certificate would mean that this student would get extra time to complete the paper, plus the services of a writer, both very critical because having dyslexia means difficulty in reading, writing, spelling, math and memory. Additionally, having dysgraphia means having deficiency in the ability to write, primarily handwriting is limited. The certification was signed by Joint Secretary and Regional Officer for the CBSE board just the day before the exam started. The mother of the student is now running from pillar to post for finding a way out. Still hopeful her child will get his rights.
Junior secretaries like Mahesh Dharmadhikari should not be in that place where they need to deal with sensitive children. He should be immediately suspended for this act. It's impossible for children to get the results before 20th of December because the centers are few, the diagnosis is late, and schools also do not diagnose learning disability early. They only are awakened after the 7th, 8th standard, and sometimes in the 9th standard when they have to be detained so that they get 100% results.
The school authorities refused to comment on camera but said the application was rejected by the board because of late submission. The Nair Hospital, on the other hand, said in a statement that this is not the first time such a delay has happened, as students come at the last minute. But this was an exceptional case even for them, as the Chennai divisional head gave out a rejection letter without any intimation, and they are doing all that they can to get an approval before the next exam. And as we speak right now, the CBSE exams for class 10 students are already underway, and the students have already appeared for one paper. And so this means that the particular student in this case has already lost out. In this era of stiff competition and high stakes where every mark counts, the only hope that the student now has is that the CBSE board officials reconsider their decision before the upcoming science paper, which is to be scheduled and held on 22nd of March. This is Richa Sharma for Magic Bricks Now.
A class 10 student with multiple learning disabilities has been denied extra time and a writer for the class 10 board exams that are currently underway. Reason? The student's application reached the board late. Despite the mother running around, the student was denied the necessary concessions.
I expect them to give my child his rights, the time concession and a writer as well.
The most important thing is to give the child what his rights are, and we should see that he is not denied, and we all should take this challenge and see that he gets a writer and the time on 22nd.
CBSE board has to wake up. All the boards have to wake up because children can't wait for eternity. Children's rights have to be addressed, and of the 3 causes for the students to drop out, the first cause is poverty, violence and learning disability, which is invisible. Teachers and schools are not empowered by the Bachelor of Education. They go by the belief systems which have been existing for long, and CBSE has been sleeping for a very long time when it comes to learning disability.
The whole system has to really wake up and understand that this is something, and it is much more stressful for a parent of such a child to bring him up to this 10th standard, and he has to give the exam, and here you are, because of some bureaucratic hassles, the child is not being able to give. Here we should be creating at least 3 things for future. One is that early identification. We should create more structures and more centers which are able to provide early identification of children, which is critical. This is also to be linked with the awareness at all levels, whether it is school, whether it is parents and community, and the system, government system at large. And the third thing is that we should do everything in our power to alleviate the distress which this may be causing to the child who is already having different kind of disabilities. Absolutely. And particularly learning disabilities.
Dysgraphia is a writing disability where the handwriting may be not very legible. At the same time, the speed to write would be very slow. So when you look at the paper, you will see that the child's handwriting is illegible. He has not finished his paper. He does not obey the space between two words. He will not obey the rules of writing, and he will also not be able to write fast. So dysgraphia is a writing disability, which would mean that the child would need a writer and extra time.
People who don't know dysgraphia, now you know what is dysgraphia. The student in question possesses both dyslexia as well as dysgraphia, which means the student in question needs the 20 minutes extra time and needs an extra scribe or a writer to write the examination.
In fact, I would like to say we face this situation in our school practically in different stage, different time. And I would also like to tell you that many schools in our country are not equipped. Teachers do not have enough training how to identify and look into the issues. Right. This is the basic problem with our system where, B.Ed earlier was 2 years and then it was made 1 year. And these things which are very important, where identification has to happen, that particular learning doesn't happen. And that is one of the reasons why we are suffering and we're having this. Challenges are there. We should work together and look at it at a bigger picture rather than getting into a situation where we have to suffer at this level at the last moment.
It was not recognized by the school at all.
All right.
And I had a session with Dr. Shetty, and that's how he detected it.
Okay.
Thanks to him that he helped me detecting my son's the problems, and that's how he immediately asked me to take action over this, which I did.
But you can't give an ultimatum to somebody that you should solve it within 24 hours. Sorry, there is a procedure. Sir, we will put our word. We'll see to it that the child gets some kind of relief.
Over here, if your son can get justice by this issue being raised in the media, then I think there is hope for many, many more such students to get justice.
Meanwhile, in another shocking case, 2 girls who were brought to Pune as part of the alleged flesh trade went missing in a mysterious manner nearly 6 months ago. Now the Bombay High Court has taken serious stock of the case and has ordered Maharashtra police to trace them both. Richa Sharma gets us more details.
The Bombay High Court on Wednesday summoned and ordered the Pune police to trace down the 2 girls, that is 16-year-old Nepalese girl and 24-year-old Delhi model, who had allegedly given out a statement and an FIR stating that they were sexually assaulted and pushed into prostitution by a number of people, and the Nepalese girl had categorically stated that she was being raped by more than 100 men in this case, and the case had come into light last year in the month of March in 2016, after the 24-year-old model was admitted to a Delhi hospital due to burn marks and other injuries, where she had complained and stated that she had been sexually assaulted by one of the main accused and also pushed into prostitution while making promises that she will be given acting roles. Now the main advocate in this case, that is Anuja Kapoor, stated that she fears the elimination of the girls in this case because she hasn't been able to get in touch or any contact with them from the last 6 months, after which the court ordered and summoned that not just an officer, police officer higher than the rank of the DCP needs to be summoned in this case, but also that the girls need to be traced down till the next day, that is 31st of March, when the court has asked all these people to be present in court with a justified answer to where exactly these 2 girls are. This is Richa Sharma for Magic Bricks Now.
I don't believe in police and I don't need the protection, because if these are the people who are going to provide me the protection, just forget it. So I don't believe in them. This is an CBI and SIT stuff. Ask them to take it over. I don't believe in them. They will not handle the interrogation because as they are from head to knee, they are involved. Okay. And secondly, I said a direction should be given to the police officials to investigate and to ask where are the victims. They are no more there. They are not there, and I can assure you that they're not there. I can feel it. I know it. And if they would have been present, they would have been shouting. If I am accusing you of something, they would have been shouting. No, we saw her here, we saw her there. They are not there, they're not there. And asked them, and then judge said 15 days, present the girls. I will be happy if the girls are here. I will be happy. But I know they have already eliminated them.
Away from that, some good news coming in for Mumbaikars. Mumbai's coastal road is set to begin in October this year. Magic Bricks now exclusively learns that the final notification of the project will be issued next week. Disha Shah gets us this exclusive.
Yes, absolutely. The work on the much delayed coastal road project will start in October 2017, that's this year. In fact, what we exclusively learned from the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, is that the final notification of the project will be issued by next week. And what we learn exclusively from the top senior civic officials in the BMC is that after the final notification is issued, they will call out for tenders, and the tendering process will easily take 2 to 3 months, and only after that the work will resume for the coastal road project. In fact, the 33.5 kilometer project, it starts from Nariman Point, where I'm standing right now, and it stretches up to Kandivali, that's western suburbs. And the main aim of this project is to reduce traffic from South Mumbai to Kandivali, because people spend 2 to 3 hours on roads driving from a point to another. So of course, with this project, once this project is implemented, what we learn is that this will ease out traffic for people traveling from South Mumbai to western suburbs. In fact, the deadline they have also set is by October 2021. That's the deadline that the BMC is aiming to complete, to finish this project. And lastly, what we also learn is that if things go as per the government's plan, then people will be able to drive from South Mumbai to western suburbs in 30 to 45 minutes. This is Disha Shah for Magic Bricks Now.
Moving on now to the iconic BEST buses in Mumbai. After we reported that, marred by lack of funds, BEST has not paid salaries to its employees for the last 2 months. The loan applied for the same purpose will not be sanctioned before the 24th of this month. That's the latest that we're hearing on the story. Now, the angry BEST employees have now threatened to go on a strike and have given a 2-day ultimatum to the BEST and the civic body BMC. Disha Shah gets us more details.
Almost 42,000 employees of the BEST undertaking have threatened to go on a strike on early next week if their salaries are not cleared within a day or two. Just to remind our viewers that the BEST undertaking usually pays its staff by 10th of every month, but now in this month, in the month of March, there has been delay of more than 5 to 6 days. Almost 42,000 employees, they have not been paid salaries because the BEST is running in huge losses. And in fact, what we also understand from the BEST committee member is that they have taken a loan from the Canara Bank of 200 crore rupees, and that basically there has been a delay in the disbursement of loan from the bank's end, and now it has been extended to 24th of this month. And in fact, when we spoke to the union leader of the BEST employee, what he tells us is that within they have given BEST and the BMC, the corporation, 2 days time. If their salaries are not cleared, they will go on a strike starting Monday next week. And when we spoke to the BEST committee member, what he says that now only the BMC, that's the Mumbai civic body, can step in to help them, to give them funds so that they can pay salaries. And what we understand is that the mayor very soon will have a meeting with the group leader in a day or two to decide the future course of action. This is Disha Shah for Magic Bricks Now.
And some news from Bengaluru now. Citizens of Bengaluru will be in trouble if they don't pay their property tax soon. Furniture and other movable assets could be confiscated if this does not happen in time. N. Manjunath Prasad, the Commissioner of Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, will issue notices to tax defaulters from the 1st of April with a 15-day deadline to pay up the arrears. Shrija gets us more details.
If you are one among those who has been evading tax for many years, then be prepared to lose your movable assets. At least this is what the BBMP is saying. In fact, the BBMP, the cash-strapped Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, is now planning to revive the entire civic body, which had plans to at least meet a target of 3,000 crores, that is through the property tax, has only collected so far 1,900 crores. And now the BBMP plans to go about and send notices to those tax defaulters. That is, these tax defaulters will be given a 15-day deadline, and even after which, failing to do so, they will be issued a warrant, and in the due course of action, they will also be in fact seizing the movable assets like computer, jewelry, vehicles, also the furnitures. The BBMP will be seizing from the tax defaulters. In Bengaluru, Shrija for Magic Bricks Now.
There is a provision for seizing the movables of the defaulters. So we are issuing warrants and we will collect the tax. This is major properties are about 300 to 500.
Okay. So how are you?
They are the major defaulters. We are issuing notices. Then we will issue warrant. And we will seize the movables. It is not first time.
Okay.
It is from the beginning of the BBMP. We are collecting every year like that only.
Okay.
From the defaulters.
Okay.
Honestly, who are paying, there will be no problem at all.
Okay.
We have a defaulter list in our GS system.
Okay.
We will have find out in that list, and we will take action against them.
Moving on now, with municipal polls in the national capital a month away, political parties have started their groundwork. The BJP will have a stiff competition in the MCD polls by the Aam Aadmi Party, Congress Party and a fresh debutant, Swaraj India, led by Yogendra Yadav. Deepa Rana sent us this report.
With municipal elections round the corner, the three political parties, BJP, Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, have already started their groundwork. This is also the first time that Swaraj India will be making their debut in the upcoming civic polls. The State Election Commission has already announced the schedule for the upcoming election. 22nd April, elections will be held in the national capital for 272 wards. Nominations for which will start from 27th of this month. This is the first time that elections will be held in 104 seats of North MCD and South MCD and 64 seats of East Delhi Municipal Corporation. This is post the trifurcation of the Municipal Corporation. This is also the first time that Nota or none of the above option is being introduced in the civic polls. Also the first time that the State Election Commission has increased the expenditure that each candidate can do from 5 lakh to 5,65,000.
We are going about it in a very systematic, scientific manner, starting from the candidate selection procedure to our manifesto. For the candidate selection procedure, we have asked all the applicants to give at least names of 5 Congress workers and supporters, and from each booth, minimum 5, maximum it could be anything. And we have set up a control room consisting of about 30 people. We are asking each and every worker that whom would they like to see as their candidate. So that way the names are evolving from the grassroots level workers, and this is also a way to empower and involve the grassroots level workers. We want to give good candidates, strong candidates, young candidates, and of course winnable candidates.
We opened our candidate selection process for all the citizens of Delhi, and the response has been overwhelming. And right from day one, what we have been saying is that our first success in these elections would be if we are able to make these elections an agenda-based elections. Unlike the previous times when MCD elections were fought purely on terms of individual localized leader, and issues were never on the fore in these elections. So our first success would be if we can make these elections an agenda-based elections. Our vision document clearly specifies, and our manifesto, which we would be releasing in a couple of weeks probably, clearly states that we we are committed to make Delhi garbage free, epidemic free and pollution free.
Also in the news, India inched closer to a single tax for goods and services on Thursday, with the GST Council approving the state and union territory draft bills. With this, all 5 GST bills have gotten approval and the legislative process is complete, meaning the July 1st rollout looks more real. This now needs Cabinet and the Parliament's approval. Listening to FM Jaitley.
The Council now has granted its formal approval to all the 5 legislations, that is the CGST, IGST, SGST, compensation and the UTGST law. We'll be meeting in Delhi again for the 13th meeting of the GST Council on the 31st of March at 5 p.m. One major action will be required, which is with regard to the fitment of various commodities into the tax slabs. The officers would then be working on it, and in the meeting that is held thereafter, we'll be approving the slabs. Once that is done, we'll be ready for the GST implementation. So we will have a sufficient buffer in terms of time between the entire preparatory exercise and the 1st of July, which is tentatively the date fixed for implementation.
Also news just coming in, BMC, the civic body of Mumbai, we hear, has written to the state government demanding 7,000 crore rupee for the octroi laws that they will make once GST comes into effect. Remember, once GST comes into effect, octroi will be dissolved as well in the GST, and this of course is a major source of revenue for the civic body. Now the civic body has already written to the state finance ministry requesting the aid, something that we'll keep a very close watch on here on Magic Bricks. Now